Hey there, I'm Sam, and today I'm going to be showing you the process of how I turned the doodle on this receipt into some pretty cool art, if I do say so myself. Hope you enjoy. Alright, let's get down to business. To defeat the Huns. Anyway, as I said, I started this drawing on receipt paper. So what I did was take a photo of that receipt and just draw over that very basic, very anatomically incorrect sketch so that I could transport it into Procreate. And then, because fire is hard to draw, I traced some fire. And hey, listen, there's no harm in tracing, and there's no harm in tons of reference photos, both from the internet and of yourself. Wow, I can speak. And of yourself. You can see internet on the left, self on right. Whoa, face reveal in the first video. Crazy. So I traced some fire. I took vision from this piece based on the song Burn by In This Moment, which is a band I've been obsessed with for, I don't know, about 6 months now. They're all I've listened to, and Maria Brink is my mother. Pun intended. If you know their most recent album, you will get the joke. Straight mother. Thanks. Anyway, so that was the main inspiration. This piece is supposed to embody the vibes I get from that song, where Maria Brink, the singer, is talking about how much she wants to be burned alive and how much she gets off on it. Basically, that's what the song is about. It's really good. Go stream Burn by In This Moment. Thank you and good night. I also took inspiration from the cover of their greatest hits album. And when you look at it, you can definitely see the similarities even where I couldn't. I thought about adding some of the lyrics in the background, or just a giant word saying burn in all caps super dramatically, like I drew on the receipt, but I couldn't figure out ever how to incorporate it in a way that I liked and that didn't look cheesy. And then I realized that because I couldn't put the words in the background, I needed to start thinking about an actual background, and I went, I'll file that away for later because I don't want to think about that right now. That's a problem for future Sam. And future Sam was like, F you, past Sam, why don't you plan out things better? Basically, I don't know how to do art. That's the moral of the story. We're now on to my third sketch layer. Well, it's supposed to be my sketch layer, but it kind of turned into it turned out good enough that I was going to turn it into my line art layer, but then I accidentally colored on it and didn't realize until it was way too late. So it just turned into my third sketch layer that I colored on top of. What I was actually going to do was try out a new technique where I use the paint bucket tool to fill in the line art rather than coloring it all in by hand, and then take a copy of the line art and put it back on top so that I still had separate line art, but I forgot to do that, so I just colored on the line art. Anyway, moving on. It usually takes me a couple of sketch layers to get things solidified, as you can see in this speed paint. I start off really messy in basically all of my art and refine as I go, which my art professor last semester even commented on, that I start really loose and really messy, which I guess is good when you think about it, because if you start loose, then you're supposed to have a little more flow in your art, but mine turns out stiff anyway, so what is the truth? What is the truth? But I do like this pose. I think it has, for once, some good loose movement, and it's a little sexy, a little no, or whatever the sexy noise is supposed to be. I don't know. Art is hard. As I said, that's the moral of the story. Then I took some photos of Maria Brink and just color dropped from it, and it turned out really, really pink, seeing as that I literally used all the colors that were in this photo. But I vibed with it, so I was just like, hey, she has pink skin now, and that's how we're living our lives. Here I am just connecting all the broken lines that I can use, the paint bucket tool, the random flashes of color is when I was trying to find the broken lines and it wouldn't fill in, and finally did it. But oh wow, it was hard. It was very hard. I need to learn how to draw. At this point, I think I realized that I had not copied the line art layer, and I tried to undo it so that I could copy it and then redo it, but it wouldn't let me undo it far enough that I could find the line art by itself, so I just redid everything and was like, curse you, digital art. But also, I guess it's my fault. And it inspired me to try something new that I wouldn't have done otherwise, and I'm very happy with the result. Oh, look, here, Sam is trying a background. Sam is trying a background. She's messing with a background. And then, as you will see soon enough, she ruins the background. So now I am rendering the face, which is, honestly, it was probably the most enjoyable part of the piece because I like to draw faces. Faces and torsos and arms until the elbow. Oh, I could draw all day long. Arms below the elbows and anything below your rib cage. Please take it away from me. I don't want it. I'm especially pleased without the shadow under her chin turned out. I think it looks real nice. Oh, there I am, ruining the background. Yes, as I told you. I mean, it looks cool, but it's not what I'm going for. It almost works, but it's not, it just blends into the character too much, and it wasn't a good time. Here I am, putting more detail into the hair. I was trying to give it kind of a strandy look, even though it's fire, but then I realized I didn't like how that looked, so I ended up coloring over the little chunks mostly anyway, and just kind of going more for the vibe of fire rather than the actual literal photo, which I think is important in finding your style. I tried to fix the background issue by thinking, well, what if I just outlined her in a white outline? But I decided I didn't like how that looked, and that it would be easier to just make a new layer and make a new background. If you are interested in the song that inspired this piece, go listen to Burn by In This Moment, because it rocks and Maria Brink has a great scream. Here I am adding some final highlights in. I went so fast on the legs because, as I said, not a fun time. Oh, and then I just copied and pasted and flipped around and messed with all the fire around her feet to just put more fire. It needed more fire, so I put more fire. And that's my finished product. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye! Hey, I'm Sam. No. Into some fantastic, amazing art. And I hope you'll enjoy the ride as much as me. That was really bad.